All right, looks like we're having more folks join here. Good morning. Yes, this program would definitely be appropriate for 4 and 5-year-olds. So feel free to invite them in. Happy Earth Day, Alisa.
Thanks for joining us.
Happy Earth Day. All right. Well, go ahead and put in the chat what you're super excited about for today, or if you already did something today to honor our Earth. I'd love to hear it.
Also, feel free to type in the languages you're comfortable with. We can read Chinese and Spanish. For the other one, we'll try to use online translation tool.
Thank you, Esther. Yeah, Cindy says we're excited to drink water in our recycled bottles today at recess. Very nice.
Yay.
Yay, I have my bottle with me today too.
I have my mug and my water bottle.
Oh. Yes, this is the same link. We'll be using the same link all day. And so you can join in and out of any session that is happening today for our virtual summit. So yeah, feel free to just hop back in at 11 if you need a break. All right, should we get kicked off here?
Sounds good.
Hey, thank you everybody for being with us today. We are so grateful to have you here on our Earth Day celebration and to kick off our San Francisco Youth Climate Summit today. So big welcome. I'm accompanied by Esther. So my name is Gianna. I use she, her gender pronouns. So that's just how you can refer to me. And I'll let Esther introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. So good to see you. And thank you again for joining us. So my name is Esther Tang. I also go by the she, her pronouns. Yeah, so good to see everyone.
Great. So we're going to kick off the day. We want to hear from all of you. So Esther's going to kick things off with a
Yes. Thank you. So we would like you to join us since many of you are watching us through YouTube live stream. So please go to mentimeter.com. Go to mentimeter.com and enter the code 4927382. You can also scan the QR code. Yeah. So 各位同學、家長、朋友，你哋可以去呢個 mentimeter.com MENTIMETER 點COM and then 入呢個 code. So you'll get to enter it there. And once you vote, it's going to bring you to the page. You're welcome to type in English or any languages that you feel comfortable with. Any languages are welcome. So 你可以用中文打，你可以用中文打, or you can use Spanish. So feel free to do it. Gianna, I'm going to share my screen.
Sure.
Okay. So this is the questions. Thinking of Earth Day, describe words or phrases that come to your mind. 諗下今日係地球日啦，所以要大家諗一諗， 你而家可以寫同我哋分享你諗到嘅單詞同埋短語。今天是地球日，所以你們描述一下，大家寫上來，就是說你想到的單詞，當你想到地球日的時候，和一些短語。So, Gianna?
Cuando ven la palabra la Día de la Tierra, ¿en qué piensan?
All right, we have a lot of responses. Let us look at it. Look at that.
Wow. I see earth, I see clean.
Absolutely. Many of us think about earth. You're describing, there are also a lot of feelings that I see people sharing. Grateful, love.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Keep it coming. We'll keep this open. So keep sharing what you have. And also after maybe in about 20 seconds, I'm going to go to the next page. And that's where all of you are welcome to type in any questions or responses. And we will be checking it. And Jocelyn, our amazing monitor, will be checking in and make sure that we can respond to you and also hear your responses throughout the program. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop share.
Thank you for your responses, everyone. Okay, so Esther, I want to know what do you think of when you hear the word Earth Day? What's something that comes to your mind?
You know, sometimes it's natural to just think of a lot of the different challenges, but at the same time, the word hope definitely come to my mind. And also what, seeing all these responses from so many of our audience, our friends today, it definitely gives me hope.
It gives me hope too. Yeah. And, I was thinking about how we got to be environmentalists and what are some ways maybe people around us have influenced us and shaped how we think and how we act in the world. And so I'd love to talk about that with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to this conversation, Gianna, because you and I come from so different background and experience, and yet we're here together. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So before we move on, I'm going to move to the next page of the Mentimeter, everyone. So feel free to continue, stay on the Mentimeter, and that's where you can communicate with us, whether it's a questions or comments or response to what Gianna and I are talking about.
Great. So do you have any questions for me, Esther, that you might want to ask about my background and how I became such a environmentalist?
Absolutely, Gianna. So for me, to be honest, I didn't grow up in a family that's, we don't talk about the environment. In fact, we don't talk about the nature that much. But somehow life bring me to this path, and I'm continuing to be excited and want to learn more. So can you share more with all of us?
Yeah, I feel similar, Esther, even though we came from very different places. My family, we didn't talk explicitly about caring for nature or protecting the environment. And so I wanted to think about maybe how did I get here? So I want to phone a friend because I have a friend who I think could help me answer this question. So just give me 1 second, please. Hello. Hi. Yes. Happy Earth Day. Yes. Are you close? I'm at the office in San Francisco. Okay. Yeah, you can come. All right. Great. I need help answering a question. Okay. Thank you. So I have a friend who I'm going to invite in who I think might help me answer this question and remember some things from my childhood. Okay. So I'm going to.
Gianna, do I know your friend?
You may have met her once. Let me go see. Okay.
You know what? I think I might have guessed. I'm curious if any of our friends today, any of our audience can guess who's our special friend.
Okay. Hi, I'm so glad you could make it on such short notice. Okay. All right, you're gonna help my friend Esther here.
Is it who I guessed? Oh my gosh. Hi, Phoebe. Do any of you remember our friend Phoebe the Phoenix? Hi, Phoebe. So good to see you. I can't wait to hear from Phoebe. Let's see. Gianna, did you tell Phoebe ahead of time?
I did. Let's see what Phoebe, can you answer for me the question of what might your family have done to teach you how to be such a nature hero?
Happy Earth Day, Miss Gianna. Thanks for thinking of me and giving me a call. I have just the story about a time I realized that I came from a family of nature heroes. I remember when I was a baby bird and still learning to fly, I would see my parents fly out and get tiny twigs and sticks and bring them back. And they were always from old trees, never new trees. Then I would watch them build different homes and structures for us. And I asked them, why do you take the old twigs instead of pulling new branches or twigs? And they said, as part of nature, it's our responsibility to consider the environment around us. We can take what nature gives us and also care for and protect nature. And imagine all the other birds that might need twigs as well. Then, when I learned to fly, I went on a trip with my parents and we flew over this really stinky place. It's called a landfill. Have you ever seen those? It did not seem like a safe or fun place to be. So my parents swooped down and we saw some things that didn't belong in the landfill, like human food. And we scooped it up and brought it back to our nest. When we got back to the nest, we mixed the food with other natural resources like plants and leaves and mushrooms that we found on the ground. And then, over time, tiny bugs turned it into soil. This time I didn't have to ask my parents. I could tell that this new soil was going to feed plants and trees that give us air to breathe. And in the landfill, it would just make it hard for us to breathe. So those two practices that my family passed down to us over time became traditions that made us nature heroes. Now, you and your friends as humans are part of nature too. So this Earth Day, I'm asking everyone here to go out and talk to your friends, talk to the people around you and your guardians about actions you can take to protect nature and all of us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Phoebe. That's actually the first time I heard about that story. Thank you so much.
Hi, Phoebe. Thank you for coming. Wow, how cool was that?
That was really cool. Thanks for having Phoebe with us, Gianna.
Absolutely. I thought that she would know exactly how to observe these things in our families. And actually, now that she talks about it, I can think of one or two stories that I'm ready to share, but hopefully you can think of some too, Esther. So
yeah, I think a few things came to my mind.
Great. So when I was a little girl, I remember my grandmother always would grow lots of different tomatoes, and I would help her with them. And she would cook them into a tomato sauce because they looked like they were about to go bad. Like they would have spots on them. They would have worms would like come in and eat them. So she would cook them down into a sauce. And I remember watching her put them in these cans over time and keep them all winter long. I lived in cold Chicago where we don't get tomatoes in the winter. And I was always curious, why do so much work to make this happen? And now that I think about it, she didn't let the tomatoes rot in the field. And she helped us to make sure that we had something all winter long and we didn't have to buy more cans from the store. So I realized that was probably actually really good for the environment now that I think about it. So maybe my family is nature heroes too.
Wow, that's true. And you know what, Gianna, now that I hear what you said, it reminds me of, my family, relatives, and also a lot of family friends that will do the same thing. I remember a family friend that has strawberry garden, and they'll make a lot of strawberry jam, and they're so good. But usually the strawberries are maybe not as fresh, or they don't look as good, and so they use it that way, but it's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
any other stories of your family that you could share?
Speaking of food, and you know how much I love food.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So I remember I shared a picture with you.
This one?
Yeah. Guess what it is? It's so yummy. But it has a special name, and in Chinese, hai choi ge. So literally what it means is the dish like vegetables legs, because they're like the leftovers. 咁咧好得意嘅喎，佢咧就係我哋食剩嗰啲餸，尤其是過年啊，或者我哋大 party。咁好多 party 我哋食，咁剩翻嗰啲餸咧，咁我媽咪咧就會將嗰啲餸全部咁樣 mix 埋一齊，咁就整成呢個餸啦。And it's amazing because when you take all the leftover and make this one, it actually, you can keep on adding it because the next day you're going to add, and the flavor is always different. It's amazing.
Ho ho.
Yeah, 非常之好啊. And then my husband is Korean. It turns out that they have something similar where it's called like the military dish. So they again add everything together and it becomes like a popular dish too.
Interesting. Very interesting. I love it.
The other thing, yes, this one, guess what? I actually realized that it's in a lot of my Chinese family friends. So, 我们呢，有时候会就是把这些用过的纸，有时候是一些杂志或者一些不要的一些就广告的纸，然后把它折成这样子一个小盒子，小盒子可以装东西，也可以有时候呢有请客还是怎么样，你就拿来装骨头也比较方便。所以呢，这重新重用、重新利用。So reusing papers that from magazines or from advertisement flyers and make little boxes like this for storage. And actually it's actually very common in a lot of Chinese families where they just put like bones and things and put it as like a tiny little container.
Wow, what a great idea. That's such a great idea. I love it. I actually, now that you say that, I have a story kind of similar as well. Cuando era niña, iba al refri cada día y había estado buscando mantequilla aquí, pero siempre en su lugar encontraba otras cosas como el resto de la comida, como frijoles y era muy, muy confusada, pero realmente es muy importante porque reutilizamos los contenedores y no tomamos más del medio ambiente, de los recursos naturales, y no necesitaba comprar nuevos contenedores, y reutilizar era mucho mejor para el medio ambiente. And I realized, my grandparents did this and it was kind of surprising, but it was good for the environment. We didn't have to buy new Tupperware, anything. And so it's really great to see that families were reusing things and we learned from it.
Bien. Do I say mucho bien?
Muy bien, muy bien.
That's amazing. And so have you do you like thinking it's butter and like for your bread? And then
it's always a surprise.
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah. And you know what? One thing I know that at least growing up, this is a natural practice, but they didn't even think that they were doing it for the environment. They were just thinking, what's something that makes sense, or it's a generational practice. And that makes me think that I used to think, oh, I'm not an environmentalist. Like, does that mean I have to change my whole lifestyle? I have to convince everyone in my family? It seems so hard to care for the environment. But it turns out that now that I look more into it, there's already a lot of practice that's like so environmentally friendly. So it's not hard to become one.
I agree. And, Esther, I feel proud of my family for having done these things. And even if they didn't see nature as some place to go, we are still environmentalists, and we can continue to learn together and help teach each other, which I think is really important too. And so thank you for sharing your story with me too. So when we think about the things that do end up, Phoebe talked about a really stinky place called the landfill, and I don't think anybody would want those to exist. So we want to think about what doesn't go in our landfill. So I have a fun game for everybody at home to take a look at this poster here. It's called I Spy. When I was little, we used to play this in the car. We would I Spy and look for something and try to pick it out. So I want you all to think about what's maybe 2 things that don't belong in this poster. So can you tell me you can either tell Miss Jocelyn in the chat, or you can just think to yourselves, say it out loud to your friend. What doesn't belong in this poster? What shouldn't go in the landfill? Any ideas? Anybody want to tell us in the chat?
Let's see.
There's a few things that don't belong. Is it the drink?
I feel like that's correct. That's in the right place.
Okay. So that one should go in the landfill. Shiny plastic, yeah, definitely. How about this soy sauce packet? Should that be in the landfill? Okay.
Yeah.
And our Takis chips?
Oh yeah. Because I know, like, I'll finish everything inside, and then this one will go into this bin.
I love Takis. Okay. How about this banana? Do you think that should go in the black landfill bin? Let's think about what Phoebe said.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm curious what my friends would say. Anyone in the audience? Like, hello, friends. What do you think? Ooh, I do see that some people had pointed out the banana does not belong to the landfill bin.
Does not belong in there, right? It would never turn back into soil because it doesn't have everything it needs. Okay. What about one more thing might be wrong? Styrofoam.
Is that a tissue or napkins?
No, this one is it's a wrapper for food.
Oh yeah. Okay. Then if it's a wrapper, it seems shiny. Wait, the milk carton.
Yeah, exactly. Milk carton should never go in the black bin, right? We want to drink all the milk, and then we can recycle it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So a landfill. Yeah, we don't want all the bananas to stack up because remember, all those tiny bugs that we talked about need to eat and get turned into soil. Okay, we can play one more and then we have to wrap up. So compost, we know it's so good for the earth and it's such an important thing for our climate. What doesn't go in the compost on this? Let's use your I Spy and pick 2 things you think do not go in here.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hi there. Any idea? Does food go in the compost?
I think so. Food would definitely go into compost.
Great. How about this plastic?
I don't think so. Plastic, I've always been to that blue recycle bin.
No, yep. Plastic and glass do not go in our compost. Okay, friends. Well, this has been so great. I just want to say thank you and tell you that we have stories about being nature heroes, but all of you probably do too. And we know that all of many years of our families and communities have been composting. They are teaching us how to grow food and heal the planet. They're teaching us to get out and walk and bike and roll to school. And how cool is that? And so, friends, we just want to thank you this Earth Day for being nature heroes with us, for being with us, and of course, for composting, recycling, and reusing whenever we can. And if you ever have questions, you can contact us or go to sfrecycles.org. And last but not least, we'll leave you with this one thought is what's one thing maybe your family or community may do to reduce, reuse, waste, and heal our planet. ¿Qué es una cosa de la que todos se dieron cuenta de que su familia hace para reutilizar y reducir los desechos y sanar la planeta? Okay, so we'll leave with this and we're gonna move right along.
Yeah, we'll share these questions with your class teachers later.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll have another program starting now, and you get to hear from other students. So if you can, please stay with us, and then we'll continue.
Thank you.
All right. So it looks like, hi, Jane.
Hi, Esther. Hi, everybody.
Hello. It looks like we have most people with us now. I know there's like a sign up process, so it's taking a little bit of time, but so good to see everyone.
Hi.
So while we are waiting, yeah, I can share with, in case some of us who just joined us, I want to share with everyone about the Mentimeter slide. And so, hold on. Yeah, let me share my screen. Going back here, share my screen. Slideshow. So, because many of you are joining us on YouTube, and therefore, the best way to connect with us, you can put in your questions in here by going into mentimeter.com and put in the code 4927382. And you can also use this QR code, and that's where you can put in your questions or comments for us, and we'll keep checking it. 如果你刚进来的话，因为很多你们是透过 YouTube 来跟我们看我们这个节目的，所以呢，可以去 mentimeter.com。code 那個密碼是4927382。那你哋因為有啲人啱啱入嚟 join 我哋啦，咁今日因為好多唔係直接入嚟 Zoom 呢度同我哋連接嘅，咁你喺 YouTube 嘅話咧，你可以去 mentimeter.com， and then 你放入嗰個 code 係4927382，咁你可以放你嘅問題或者你嘅任何你想同我哋分享嘅嘢。喺嗰度，咁我哋會不斷嘅 check 嘅。You're also welcome to type in Chinese, English, as well as Spanish. All right, thank you so much. We'll be starting in a minute. So once again, thank you so much. Today is a special day because we have Edwin and Anita Lee Newcomer School students, the 3rd to 5th grade students, upper grade level students here to present the end of the year culminating project, which is focusing on the environment. So we're very excited to have them. I definitely want to share that they're all new in this country, so they're all our new friends. And because of the pandemic, they haven't had a chance to actually physically be at school yet. So all the learning has been through online, and they're learning their second language and going through really, really well. So we're very, very proud of them and can't wait to see what they have done. I would like to introduce their teacher, Jane Au for putting all of this together, and she'll be co-facilitating with me. Hi, Jane.
Hi, everyone. Great to be here. Exciting to be here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here together. So in a little bit, we'll be inviting our Commissioner, Sarah Wen, to give us our opening remarks. And then after that, we'll have a recording that we put together with all the students' work so that you can see what they've done. And then in between, Jane and I will also interpret some of those because they're in Chinese. And then after that, the principal, Victor, who is also already here with us, will give us the closing remarks. Before the closing remarks, though, the students will also share live of their wishes, as well as take some questions from the Q&A. Again, you're welcome to start typing in your questions in the in the Mentimeter that I shared with you just now. Menti.com. It's 4927382. All right. So Jane, would you like me to share the video? Or
Yes, that'll be great.
all righty. Awesome. Let me share my screen. Later, but before that, I'm gonna have Commissioner Wan to give us the opening remarks. Let me see. I think I saw Commissioner Wan here.
I'm here.
Oh, hi.
Hi, good morning. Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
I'll
you
just
so
give you
much.
very brief remarks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. All the sisters and brothers, and also especially to the principal of the Edwin and Anita Lee Chinese Newcomer School, who is a great friend of mine, someone I definitely really admire, because he's very dedicated to really leading our students and the school. I still remember that I attended the 50th anniversary in 2019, and time really flies. This year is a very special year for all of us. Instead, we can mingle with each other in person. We have to see each other in the tile, in the box every day. And I really can't say how much I really appreciate and feel really grateful that all our students, they are so how fast they can pivot, and also in this new learning environment. And I know how hard it is as a new immigrant. I was an immigrant myself when I was in high school, and it's already hard. So I really can't imagine when you're little friends here in the elementary school to be a new immigrant, to learn a new language. I remember as a new immigrant, I always feel very little about myself because I might not be able to communicate and speak really freely in my mind, like through English in a total different language. And I felt like I'm like inferior than others. But I think through the years, I think as immigrants, we really have shown our resiliency and also how strong we are, that how we actually turn our bilingual skills into our great assets and be a great contributor to the American society. So I really appreciate, and today the big star are our students. So I don't want to take up too much time. I can't tell you how much I look forward to see the presentation on nature appreciation, about zero waste, and also about community environmental action and all your year-end project. I so look forward to it. I promise you I've stayed the whole hour to look through all the presentation. And last but not least, I really want to hear the wish of every single student, because you all are our future. And we rely on you to really help us to heal the community, to heal the whole planet. And really, I really look forward to the solution from you all, because you all have brighter mind than we do. So I really appreciate it for having me. And as a commissioner, I'm really proud to serve on the commission, and also how we reach out to different communities in San Francisco. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm just going to say in Cantonese, I'm not fluent in Mandarin. I so wish I'm trilingual, or I can speak Spanish, but I couldn't. I'll try my best. 好多謝啦，所有同學仔啦，今日咧你哋都有參加呢一個嘅氣候嘅行動呢個項目。咁我作為其實呢個環保局嘅其中一個委員咧，其實每一次咧好開心咧，就係可以去到社區裏邊咧，尤其是聽到我哋嘅小朋友啦，或者我哋嘅青少年啦，佢哋對呢個保護環境咧係有啲咩理想，同埋有啲乜嘢嘅提議嘅。 咁所以我今日咧好開心可以參加呢一個項目，亦都會留低喺度聽晒3個唔同嘅呢啲項目嘅呢啲 presentation 呢啲發表嘅。咁我好希望喺你哋身上咧學到點樣可以令到呢個地球更加健康，我哋大家可以一齊更加環保。我自己都係移民，咁所以好知道咧，其實我哋初頭嚟到呢個講英文咧，即係唔係我哋熟悉嘅環境咧，其實係好困難。所以你哋全部都好叻啊！將來你哋會發現，其實你哋可以講雙語或者3語咧，其實對呢個社會咧係有好大嘅貢獻。咁所以咧，我係對你哋有好大嘅期望，亦都好開心可以喺呢度嘅。多謝晒你哋 ，thank you。
Thank you so much, Commissioner Wan. 多謝晒，非常非常感謝你。所以我哋今日咧，等陣我哋就會放一個 video。等陣吓 ，I'm gonna put all right. So 咁我哋等陣會放一個 video. We're going to play a video, a recorded video. These are all the work of the students. And again, thank you so much, Jane, for putting this together. It's amazing. I watch it already, and every time I watch, I just get so emotional and teary. It's amazing. I'm so proud of all the students. 各位同學非常非常的以你們為榮，我真係好引你哋為榮啊！咁咧 so we will play, and at some point when it's mostly just Chinese, Jane and I will take turns, sort of interpret it again in English, so that we want to make sure everyone gets it as much as possible. It's very visual, so we believe that everyone will at least get the message. And again, I also want to make the point that all of you can do it too. And I've seen a lot of the work of all the students in San Francisco, not just this school, right? Everybody is also doing it. We just don't have the time to showcase everybody, but one day, hopefully, we'll get to see everyone's work. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll be playing the video now. Let me share my screen. Okay. Let me make sure. Give me a second. Okay, home observation. Okay. Share. Can you see my screen now? Great. I'm gonna play it. And it's in 3 languages: English, Mandarin, and Cantonese.
Home observations. 家中環保觀察. We use the remaining water to water the flowers. I will use paper.
We can hear it though.
Origami.
Can you hear it?
We could hear it, just not, we couldn't see the video.
You cannot see the video? I wonder, because I shared that. Let me try another thing. Jane, would you like to share with everyone a little bit more about the project, that 3 parts in the video?
Yes, so this project, it all started actually with Esther contacted our school and saying that she is over distance learning, the different type of lessons that SF Environment has to offer. So we started with environmental lessons with Esther planning those lessons together. And then I'm also with our school district, I'm the district D lead. What that means is technology leadership facilitator. And as a D lead, we're in charge of also incorporating technology into our classrooms. So with this project, I talked with Esther, how can we teach students about Google Slides and Google Docs and Google Sheets and Google Calendar as we complete this project, along with other tools like Seesaw and video recording and voice recording. So it's over a course of a couple months, I think 2 months that we did this. And I'm excited to show this project with everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen again, and give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen as well as hear the sound. All right. This one should work. All right. Awesome. You can see it. It sounds like sound.
家中環保觀察。We use the remaining water to water the flowers. I will use paper to do origami. I don't use plastic bags to shop. We're using plastic bottles as pen holders, vases, and more. My family and I will use plastic bags. My family and I will use plastic containers from school meals. My family and I will use water bottles. My family and I will use advertisements to fill tiny box to use as containers to keep our table clean. 这张照片说明了，就是你家里如果有一些废纸什么的，最好是比较硬的纸，是一些他们发的广告什么的，你可以一页一页撕下来，做成这些东西。这些东西呢，其实是一个小盒子。之后呢，你们可以就是把你们吃掉的骨头啊什么的，可以扔里面，之后呢再扔出去。这样的话就代表了回收。
Yeah, so here, his family, they used either old magazines or a lot of flyers that you get all the time in the mail. And so they decided that, hey, there's all this paper. So they fold it sort of like origami style and make it into small, tiny containers that they can use, to keep, as a little containers to put stuff. But the other thing is also in the dining table to put bones or, anything that they want to discard. So they're reusing the papers.
而且呢，这些呢，就是会，把一些就是那么多纸呀，就是比较浪费嘛。然后呢，你可以这样的话，就是省用纸了。My family and I will use boxes to hold toys. I care about all the limited resources. Only use what I need.
这些环保袋，不是用那些胶带这样去买东西，对吗？
我用旧的盒子来装东西。我用一些没用的瓶子来做花盆，还有花篮。我哋用死尾水淋花。我用過啲紙用嚟裝整。
I don't know if you see the water that was used in the to water the plant. That was like water that was used to wash rice, and they reuse it. Yeah, so that's fun.
我会拿着回收的饲料或者来做有用的工具或玩具。这个是我在这个学校里面吃的东西。我在上面烤了之后，然后用来放东西，说明了这个东西是用纸做的，扔了很浪费，所以我就把它用来做成一个小盒子，把一些有用的东西放了进去，这说明了非常环保。
我们把
So these students, they are also very creative in creating their own toys and also useful tools with paper boxes that they found, or they can fold it up with recycled paper. And this previous student just shared that she cut up the boxes because she liked the box, so she cut it up, and now she's putting pencils and other rulers, erasers, and different things in there, and she's leaving it at the learning center that she goes to every day. So she thinks that that's very environmental friendly.
Thank you.
我们出去买东西的袋子会拿回来，自己拿来当那个垃圾桶用，这样子可以把它丢在袋子里面。我们会把学校拿回来的那些盒装东西、装菜的盒子吃完，然后把它洗干净，拿来装骨头。
So the two things that he mentioned, number one is there are times where you can't avoid it. Things are already in plastic bags, and then they will reuse the plastic bags, as liner for their trash cans or bins at home. So that's how they reuse it. And also meals that they got from schools, they will wash the containers and reuse the containers.
这张照片说明了我们家用完的罐子会装其他东西。
So I don't know if you could see that one, that bottles that finished use, they use that as a piggy bank for coins. I love that.
我们家用完的罐子会装其他东西。
我有一个零废弃的方法，就是当我这些是学校的东西嘛，学校用来食物餐，学校餐的东西，然后我吃完这些里面的东西呢，我会把它洗掉，然后可以用来回收，然后每当拿东西装菜，或者装什么也可以，装骨头，装水啊，什么都可以，然后这些用来回收，这说明了这些呢，不要浪费，不用去买盆子、买玻璃盆子那些东西。Hello， 这些纸巾呢是一些很容易就干的，然后如果你的手湿了，很容易擦掉就干的。但是呢，太浪费了，这么大一大张，所以呢，我就这样把它撕下来，用这一些，然后这一些呢就放在一个地方里，等到时候再用的时候还有嘛，然后再捏一下就可以回收来用，不用那么快就用完。我们呢去拿到了一些这样的宣传纸回来呢，扫地的时候我们就用这些宣传纸放在地上，用桌把这样扫进去，然后再这样把它放进垃圾桶里，这些也是好东西来的。
So before I interpret that little segment, I must confess that I did not teach them any of these habits. They taught me. They came to me with all these ideas, and they said this is what we do at home. So as you can see, more than one student had mentioned that when they get the school meals, they don't throw away the container. They don't. Some of them don't even recycle them yet. They want to reuse them first. So they would use them they wash them, and then they use them for other uses. For example, carrying water to water the flowers, or to put bongs in. Chinese food has a lot of different dishes with different bongs in them. So that's why it's a very common use in the family. Then the second idea that he shared was that when he used the bounty napkins, he doesn't use it once. He shared that it helps dry water very fast. So you don't actually need that whole big piece of napkin paper. You can tear it apart and use it and save it to the side, and then you can reuse it and use small segments of that paper. Then lastly, he shared that when he gets thick cardboard like public announcement paper. So he apparently got the one that's from SF Environment. I think I recognize those colors. He said he can use that as a dustpan when he dust his home, he would put it on the floor and then use it as a dustpan and then just put the dust into the trash can so that way you don't have to go out to buy any extra items. Everything is reusable, and as long as you can think of different ways to use it.
不用去外面买那些垃圾铲回来。
然后我们会把洗衣服的水，然后倒去拿来装那些，拿来冲厕所。好，这边就是。
So the one just now, they use, if they wash their clothes, they will save the water and just use it to flush the toilet.
是一半的嘛，有时候上厕所的时候，这边是一半，这边是就是马力比较大的。然后你觉得就上厕所的时候哪个够用的话，你就用哪个就行了。
So again, that was also conservation of water in mind, and it's very important. I'm sure many of you have talked about, drought in California.
在家里，我们会节约用水，节约用电。我们不用卫生纸擦嘴巴，我们用布来擦嘴巴。
Yes, so this last student, he shared that he doesn't even use paper napkin at home. He uses the cloth napkins at home.
在家里，我们的目标是要做到零废弃。
So he shares that his goal at home is to reach the goal of zero waste.
要做到零废弃。
Community action observation. 健康社区观察。There was no trash left to the bins. All your clothes and clothes don't have to go to waste. A family in my neighborhood reused pails for their plants. I love the idea.
地铁铺牌 and society failure for us.
Local business practicing recycling. We don't need to cut down moon trees. Our animals will be happy to keep their home. My pet Lucky and I want to keep our environment clean.
我睇到公園入邊有啲垃圾桶，幫助我哋回收。
So many students definitely see a lot of observations in the community with all the bins. That's really making it convenient for all of us to sort.
我哋會把垃圾放喺對嘅垃圾桶裏邊。
我观察到没有用的盒子、自信封，还有没有旧的铁盒做花盆。
我观察到人们在分类。
在我的社区，我看到呢，就是有人用太阳能板放在屋顶上吸收太阳，也不是用电这样。环保在我社区呢，我出去的时候呢，我经常看到呢，有些人就是骑单车去一个地方，不是开车去的，是骑单车。
我的社区有我们用完的垃圾都会分配到垃圾桶里面，然后我们那些好像我们吃完东西的话，我们都不会丢在地上，我们会丢去垃圾桶。
我们的就是做垃圾分类。
绿色垃圾桶是用来堆肥料的垃圾，像厨余和香蕉皮。
So here students are explaining the different colored bins. The green bin is for compost, like banana peel and other food waste. And then the blue bin is for recycling products like plastic and paper. And then the black bins are for anything that goes to the landfill.
蓝色垃圾桶用来装可回收垃圾，比如塑胶和纸。
黑色的垃圾桶用来装填埋区的垃圾，就是不可回收也不可堆肥的垃圾。这个垃圾车会帮我们收垃圾，家里才不会很多垃圾在家里。买那个瓶装的那个水不好，那个塑胶瓶的水不好，因为呢会丢到那个垃圾。我们要做这件事，因为呢这样才会不用一直制造疫苗，让地球一直暖化。
旧金山是一个海湾，我们减少垃圾就可以保护我们地球，也可以保护我们海洋里面的生物。
Ecosystems observation 生態環境觀察。
我觀察到公園裏面有好多花。
我觀察到這個季節最適合開花的季節，海邊的天空非常的藍。
我觀察到公園裏邊嗰啲草好綠。
我觀察到公園入邊唔只有花，仲有籃球場。
公園裡面有很多草啊，還有很多樹和花。這是在金門公園的那個樹，這是歐洲的樹，它很特別，也是在金門公園的花園。那這個樹會吸那個壞空氣，然後再會發出來那個新鮮的空氣。
我們周圍有超級多不同的樹木，它們對我們很好。
So I want to say this last few, as you can see, it's a lot of like careful and really, great observations about nature. And then, and also a few things that the students mentioned are how they're good for the environment, like as a air purifier for the environment. So that's another appreciation.
这个我要介绍是这个，你看一些藤蔓，它是随着树往上，就是说往上爬，一点一点爬，看。
这是在金门公园花园那个前面那个粉红色那个是樱花，然后这个是水。
树木可以净化空气污染，树木也可以开花结果。
Dogs party.
My favorite animals, turtles.
我見到公園有啲鴨。
我見到公園有隻牛。
我看見公園裏有松鼠在樹叢裏亂竄。
我見到公園裏邊有隻雀。
我見到公園入邊有白鴿。我喺公園入邊見到我。
海里的大自然觀察了這些小魚，看這些小魚，這些小魚呢也是屬於一種生態。你看不看見？這些都是小魚，這是我在公園裡的大自然的觀察，而且呢，這是在金門公園觀察的。
So these last couple of slides, the students shared that what they observed in our ecosystem and the animals, the different animals that they observe. And here in this video, the student is showing that in Golden Gate Park, he observed that the little tiny fish in the pond or in the water that he's filming. I'm not sure if it's a pond or not. And he's sharing that this is part of our ecosystem. No matter how small the animals are, they're part of our ecosystem.
中园里面还有篮球场、足球场，然后还有一个棒球场，然后操场上面还有很多人，有人在野餐，有人在跑步，有人在散步。
旧金山的生态环境也有很多动物和我们一起居住。
All right, thank you so much. So that was really good. I hope all of you enjoyed the video, and we have, even better to come. So now the students will be sharing their wish live again. So these students haven't had a chance to do, presentation like live or again, because of the time, and last year was a different year. So they didn't have a lot of opportunities to be in person kind of sharing, but here they are. They have the courage to do it. 大家都很勇敢，大家都好勇敢。So I'm gonna let Jane go ahead and guide everybody.
Okay, so now we're going to share our environmental wishes. Let me click into present mode. My environmental wishes. You'll be able to see the slides. Okay, Johnny, you can unmute and share.
I hope that when you see garbage, you can bend down to pick it up.
Thank you.
I hope that we can reuse as much as possible.
I hope that we can sort our garbage into the correct bins.
I hope that we will turn food scraps into compost.
I hope we plant more trees and sort our garbage.
Here's a little video of the drawing.
我的愿望是想让大家都是环保之后呢，而且呢让大家多种点树，因为这个树可以把二氧化碳转化为我们呼吸的氧气。之后呢，我希望每一个人都是知道环保，之后每天都给扫地什么的。之后呢，不要排出一些什么对空气有害的物质，而且呢，这块呢是可乐瓶要分类要把这些垃圾都给分类，不要就是吃一半扔一半，不要这样。我觉得这样的话是会对大自然有害，所以我希望就是大家能环保。这个呢是我写的，就是环保地球，就是把这个地球呢给其实我们地球生病了之后呢，我们要把我们的这个生病的地球给把它的这个病给治好。我希望能这样。
So the student here shared many good habits that we've seen in the video, such as sorting out our waste and also not eating all our food, and if not, then we can compost them so nothing goes into waste, and plant more trees. And he also shared that our earth is sick, so we must take care of it so then our earth can stay healthy.
I hope that we will pick up garbage when we see them on the street.
我希望以后别这么多二氧化碳，不要烧那些东西，比如火柴、纸和碳。
海英，
我希望大家可以不要查查字幕，如果查查字幕的话，世界上就没有森林了。我希望地球可以变得越来越干净，越来越好，这样我们的生活也会越来越好。我希望大家可以保持节约用水的好习惯，洗手钟开水龙头，洗手后关掉水龙头。
Kaden，
我希望大家用完电器或电灯就把它关掉，因为可以节约用电。
我希望世界和平，让贫困的人可以得到和平对待。
我希望人们可以多种点树木。
Kendrick， Kendrick 可能 maybe Kendrick got dropped earlier, but he wished for world peace.
我希望啲人掉垃圾入去垃圾桶。我希望啲
And this is the last one.
低碳生活。
So thank you everybody for sharing. Good job.
Thank you so much. So we have a lot of questions and comments from our audience, from our friends who are watching. 所以呢，我们有很多朋友问了很多的問題，也寫了很多的好評，你們做得非常好。有好多朋友咧就寫咗好多嘅唔同嘅評語啊，同埋問題。咁而家咧，我哋就有請歐老師會 gonna ask Miss Ao to see maybe pick one or two questions and see if anyone wants to try to answer the question.
Okay. Let's see. I guess are the questions the ones in the chat box?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. So I guess the first question that I would pick is why do we think it's important to why do students think it's important to celebrate Earth Day? So 你们认为为什么庆祝这个地球日保护地球日那么的重要？如果你可以回答这个问题，你可以举手。Yes, Eunice.
保护地球是最重要的，就是地球也和人们一样要生病。如果我们不好好保护地球的话呢，这样子社会变得越来越脏，越来越不想让人住在这里。
So Eunice shared that our Earth is just like us. Sometimes our Earth gets sick. And we can tell that by judging our weather and climate change, right? And in order to help make sure that our Earth doesn't get sick, we must protect our Earth and do our best so that people will want to live here on Earth. Thank you, Eunice, for sharing that. Wei Hao?
我们 不保护的话，反而会让变得很脏。我们也不想去那种其他地方玩，这样的话反而家里也会很脏，会让世界每个地方都很脏。就比如说那种海洋生物和陆地上的生物也会受到的。
Thank you. So we have shared that if we don't keep our earth clean, every corner that you turn to when you go outside, it's going to be messy and dirty, and even your home will be messy and dirty, and even the ocean. If you look at the ocean, and it will affect ocean life too. If everywhere is going to be messy and dirty, that you don't want to go outside and want to stay inside. So in order to protect our ecosystem, we must make sure that our actions lead to protecting our earth and creating a clean environment for everyone to live in this ecosystem. Thank you. So here I'm going to ask you for a second question. Why do you think some people not care to help the environment? 你们认为，同学们，你们认为，为什么有些人他们不去注重这个环保？为什么有些人他不去注重环保，他不去做你们做的这些事情呢？Yes, Johnny.
因为那些人都不知道为什么要保护地球，他们有些人很懒惰，也不想去做这些，根本就没有顾及到自己的家园有危险。
那你会跟他们说什么？
我会跟他们说，我们要团结起来，一起去保护地球。
So Johnny just shared that some people might not do practice environmental friendly habits because they're not aware of the problem, or that they could be too lazy to commit to it. And so I asked him, or they're not aware of how dangerous this problem could be. So I asked him, so what would you say to them? And he said that he would ask everyone to work together, to collaborate, and to work towards this goal. Thank you, Johnny. 伟豪。
因为呢，有些人呢发现了那种垃圾，但他们呢以为会有人清理，但有些人呢一定要清理的。如果他不清理的话，比如说海洋啊、树啊什么的，会慢慢的变得不很脏的。有些人也会发现的，但不过呢，他们也看到了一些。所以说呢，有些人呢总被弄一个组织来保护那些海洋和树木。
谢谢你。So this student shared that maybe for those people who are aware, they might see it and they would just think that someone else is taking care of it. If everyone thinks that someone else is taking care of it, then no one would take care of it. So it's great. It's important to for organizations to reach out to everybody and to let everybody know that people can come together to help solve problems that they see in the environment and not just rely on other people.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. I want to give a big applause for everyone. Feel free to put reactions for those of you who are on Zoom. So 再次多謝大家啦，你哋做得好好啊，你們做得非常非常的好，真的我也非常的感動。I'm very, very touched myself, and I feel like these are all amazing reminders, and it really motivates me and inspire me. So 非常的以你们为荣，因为你们也激励了我要做得更好。So what we'll do next is we're going to invite the principal to give us our ending remarks. Hi, Victor. Thank you again for joining us. And so I'm going to pass it over to you.
Hi, Esther. Hi, Gianna. Hi, Commissioner Juan. Hi, everyone. Hi, girls and boys and Miss Al. I want to start by letting you know it's a real honor for me to join SF Environment today in celebrating Earth Day. And I want to say great job, everyone at Edwin and Anita Lee Newcomer School. You are amazing in all this you learned this year. You shared such great, important reminders and new ideas for us too. So I'm going to shift a little, and I'm going to tell you, on this Earth Day, I'm actually scared. I'm scared, everyone, because when I think about myself growing up, we didn't really worry about the air or the water or the land like we have to now. Like, I just think about a few months ago when I woke up and the sky was this deep orange, and it was very scary. And when I look ahead at what people have done to our environment, what people are doing right now to our environment, it scares me. But I'm going to say that I'm inspired. I'm inspired by you. I'm inspired by you and young people like you everywhere. Because honestly, like when I think about you compared to me at your age, you're far more informed, you're more engaged, and you're more active in making the changes that we absolutely desperately need. And today, all these students, all these young people, not just at Lee Newcomer School, not just in San Francisco Unified School District, but all over the world, they give me hope. And when we move forward, just like some of the adults said today, we're going to rely on you to save this earth. We have to work together. And just like we have to do in addressing things like Black Lives Matter or the violence against the Asian American Pacific Islander community, you know, the solution, it's not that hard. We have to work together. We have to find solidarity. When we can work together, there's nothing that we cannot solve. So just like with the Black Lives Matter, just like with the violence against the Asian American Pacific Islanders, when we talk about environmental problems, we have to work together. And you know what, everyone? I'm gonna give you an idea. In an act of resistance, I'm gonna ask you, when you're in your classes, make friends with those people who are different than you. Connect with people. Imagine if every classroom right now, you made real friendships with all these other people. And imagine if every school, we had genuine friendships developed in every school with everyone. Imagine the ripple effect from this, from all of that, all those friendships in moving forward and bringing peace on earth. So I'm gonna close with a quote. And this quote is by a person who brings a lot of peace into our world. It's the Dalai Lama. And he said, because we all share this planet Earth, we have to learn to live in harmony and peace with each other and with nature. This is not just a dream, but a necessity. And everyone, we so need you. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, SF Environment. Thank you, Lee Newcomer School. And thank you, World Earth Day. Yay!
Thank you so much, Principal Victor Tam. And once again, thank you everyone for being here. I do want to translate that last quote that you shared just because it's amazing. I want to make sure everyone gets it. 那刚才校长也说，这个就是一个达赖喇嘛说的一句话，总结就是说，我们因为是这个地球，我们是大家共享的。所以呢，我们要跟它和平的相处，不管是我们人类之间，或者是跟这个大自然，所以我們可以做得到的。你們今天給了我們很多的希望。那我哋今日咧，頭先校長有講到就係達賴喇嘛講嘅一句說話，咁就係我哋因為大家係一齊共享呢個地球嘅，所以我哋要和平共處，同呢個地 地球和平共處，唔止我哋人類之間啦，而且我哋同大自然都可以和平共處嘅。So thank you so much. And I'm going to end with the questions that we had earlier in the program, where everyone shared their words and phrases that came to mind when they think about Earth Day, just because it gives so much hope. So I would like to share and let you see because so many people contributed. There are hundreds of words up there, and there's just a lot of this amazing things. So I would like to share this with all of you. Thank you again for joining us. And again, thank you so much. Today is so special. Thank you.
Yay, thank you. And I just shared in the chat, if anybody can't make it to the 2:00 summit event, then you can watch on YouTube, or you can watch all this later too. And so we're so grateful you were here with us, and you can rejoin on this same Zoom link at 2:00. And we'll be talking about the Biden-Harris National Climate Summit and what the city is doing to protect communities, just like Principal Victor said, to help communities make sure that nobody has doesn't have access to clean water and clean air and healthy food. So thank you all for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. 谢谢你们，多谢大家。Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, everyone. And I also wanted to shout out Sarah Wan, Commissioner Wan. She's someone who brings our community together and addresses equity issues with all people and social justice issues. So really grateful for her.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again. Thanks for being here. 谢谢大家，你们做得非常好。Thank you so much.
Hasta luego.
好，我们现在下课了，你们可以去吃午饭啊。3点这里好 ，OK。
老师，我等会儿还要去别人家里呢。我爷爷是去外边的，所以说呢，我爷爷他们不煮饭，我去别人家吃饭的。
好，我知道了，记得要把作业补了。
拜拜。
拜拜。
Bye. Thank you. Thanks, Jane. Thank you so much.
Miss
Bye bye.
Hi, thank you, students.
真的，如果有问题的话，你要待会儿再问我，因为现在直播呢。好，真的在直播。
拜拜。
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Johnny. Bye bye. Bye, Ines.
Thank you.
Bye, Lloyd.
I just finished putting my students in the waiting room in case they didn't know how to click the leave meeting.
Thank you.
You don't have to put them back in. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great rest of your event.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right. I'm going to leave this up for everybody, but we'll be joining back at 2.
See you soon.